Hey guys, how are you? So this is going to be a really cool video. I'm going to talk about 3 ways you can launch your mobile app. And we'll go from the simple one to like the really bang, the super way to launch your app, right? So let's get right to it. So the simple way is something called a soft launch. A soft launch is basically you don't tell anyone except your friends, some coworkers, and you put your app into the App Store. Nobody knows about it, right? So the downloads that are going to come are going to be from some of your friends, some of the coworkers, maybe your family, and a tiny trickle of people from the app stores. And this is, you're going to get a small number of downloads, right? But this is good because when your app is new, it's probably not that great, and if you get a lot of people, I know you want that, but it's probably going to result in like bad reviews, it's not going to rank well, all that kind of stuff. So what you want to do is use this soft launch as an opportunity to get this small bunch of people every day and monitor how they use your app. You can use analytics software to see where they stop engaging with your app. Like there are usually some problem spots, like where people like quit the app or they leave the app, right? And you can see what people are doing and then fix that, and then observe it again and fix the problems that arise again, right? And do these cycles of basically seeing how people observe how people use your app, fix those things, then like next issues will surface up, right? Once those issues are fixed, the next issues people will get to the next issues that are problematic. And then once you've done enough of these cycles, you'll find that your engagement increases, people give you like nicer reviews, things like that. And when you get to a happy point where you're like, wow, this app is getting like really good reviews and people love it, then it's time to think about a bigger launch, right? So now we did the soft launch. It's effectively what happened is this soft launch gave you beta users. You didn't like ask people to become beta users, or at least I didn't mention that by name here, but effectively that's what happened, right? You got those beta users and you use them to improve your app. When your app is ready for prime time, here's what you do. You've gotta do like a publicity and app like download acceleration techniques, right? So you can like reach out, you can do a press release, you can reach out to journalists, and by the way, you should have, as you've been doing during the time that you were doing your soft launch and the beta testing, you should have been also sort of talking and forging relationships with some app bloggers or app journalists, right? So that when it's time to do a bang kind of a release, you can reach out to them, and a few of them might help you out. You say, hey, I'm doing a big launch on this day. They might do a story about you, right? They might give you a little promo. So you should have been doing this all along. Okay. You can also spend a little money. If you spend a little money intelligently, you can get a lot of downloads, right? So maybe you'll spend some money on like app promo sites, or maybe on Fiverr there are some good gigs, or if you have some budget, it can really go a long way if you're intelligent about it, right? So you can get like medium or large blogs or publications, or you can get on a podcast that's popular about apps, right? So there's a lot of channels, right? And you just got to be smart about choosing them. And I have other videos of like how to where to promote, so I'm not going to get into details on that. But basically that's how, the reason that you want to start out with a bang, like, so you have this day which is like the bang, right? And the reason you want that, the biggest reason really, is because you want to have this, once you've tested the app enough and the engagement is good on it, you're ready to start trying to get your app to rank really well for some keywords in App Store search. And one of the main factors in ranking is the acceleration of downloads, right? Of course, another factor is engagement, but you should already have that because you've been testing for that, you've been trying to improve that. So I'm going to assume that you already have good engagement. But what's really going to happen is you're going to have this acceleration of downloads from this big launch, right? And what's going to happen is that acceleration, that bang, it gets you noticed by App Store editors. It will increase your chances, no guarantees, but it will increase your chances of getting featured. It will propel you to rank higher, right? Because that's the ranking algorithm. It looks for acceleration of downloads, and you'll have this gigantic bang, right? And what you want to do is have this gigantic launch and the bang, which will amplify your downloads. And then what you really want to do, and be careful here, a lot hinges on this. You don't want to just have one bang, right? Because you want to have this one bang which triggers other bangs, right? Like you have this one bang and then you get featured, or you get more press, or you get better ranking, or right. So you want to go bang, 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 because more bangs, more of these spikes and downloads cause other spikes and downloads, right? Sometimes, right? So they lead to, and then you can go to journalists, maybe they didn't cover you, and you say, hey, just had 10,000 downloads in one day, or whatever, you know, and then that's much more interesting, you know? And you can even do a story of like, hey, how to do a successful launch, and really promote your app through that, because you know you're teaching other people how to do a successful launch. So that's how you do like a big launch. Okay, now let's talk about how to do a gigantic launch. Okay, and this is not available to most people because but if your app is like really good and really cool and innovative and unique, you can try. There are some conferences, tech conferences, right, where you can launch your app on stage. Like my favorite one is the Launch Conference by Jason Calacanis. It happens, I think, every February of every year. There is like TechCrunch Disrupt, there's a demo conference, there's a few others, and there are smaller ones, you know. Smaller ones are obviously easier to get into. But if you can launch on stage, it's great, because guess what? If you're launching on stage, there's a bunch of reporters who are covering that event. So automatically you get a chance to get in front of those reporters and their publications. That event may be broadcast on YouTube, and there may be a live stream to like thousands of people. You know, sometimes I watch these things from home, right? And there's like, and it says how many people are watching with me, and it's like a few thousand, right? So that's a really good exposure there. So, but generally, you know, if one good reporter like covers you in like TechCrunch, then you'll get like 10,000 downloads possibly, right? It really is hit or miss, and TechCrunch is not so popular now, but just an example. So you see how to do app launch, right? From the soft launch to a gigantic bang. So if you found this video helpful, please check out my full book on how to create a mobile app business. It's a really good book. I cover really how to make it a business, like, you know, how to plan a mobile app, how to, you know, get it developed. I don't explain how to code the app, but I talk about, you know, should you hire a developer, should you do it on your own, is it easy to build on your own, is it easy to learn to code, and then I really get into, you know, how to make money from apps, how to promote apps, so you really get the full spectrum. And especially, you should especially get this if you like are just starting out on apps, or you're thinking about getting into apps, because this will really open your eyes to what the app world is really like without actually having to get into it, right? So you'll actually know what you're getting into before you're getting into it, which is a very good thing. So anyway, please check out the book, and I'll have the link to it in the description of the video or on my site, problemio.com.